Next on Rugby Wrap-Up, a special edition of the Rugby Odds with John Bradshaw, Layfield, the Philly Godfather, and Gift Egbelu picking the Tokyo Olympic Sevens and the Springboks versus the Lions. Guys, the product of us being so good at what we do here is that the rest of the world wants us to do some stuff internationally. So we're going to go ahead this week. I'm throwing a COVID curveball at you, and we're going to not only pick the British and Irish Lions versus the Springboks in this week's match, but we're also going to look at the Tokyo Olympics and predict the medal winners for the men and the women. But before we do that, I'm going to give you guys a little treat. All right, guys, we have our expert in sevens, Steve Lewis, to give us some tips before we go ahead and make our picks to make our audiences a bunch of money. Stephen, welcome. I think you know John, the Godfather, and Gift. Steve, you're taking time out to call in from Rugby United New York practice. You got a big playoff game against Atlanta that we're going to be picking next week. We won't pick in front of you because some of the picks might upset you. But we're going to talk Olympic sevens, Steve. And we need you, the expert in sevens, because you are the reigning two-time USA Rugby Coach of the Year in sevens. You're also the head of...
Not just sevens.
Not just sevens, just reigning Coach of the Year, two-time, because they didn't pick the third time because of COVID. You're also the head of the Jamaica's sevens program, men and women, and you have great cats. Aside from that, let's get on with what you can tell us about. Let's start with the men's bracket first. What do you see happening in the men's bracket in Tokyo?
Okay, the men's bracket, this would be impossible to put odds on. You've got probably 8 teams with a good chance of winning here. It's out of 12. You have varying degrees of preparation. You have teams coming back cohesive without injuries, teams coming back with injuries. It's a nightmare to predict. I'm hoping Team USA crack that, but I think it's going to be tough for them. They're going to come out really fast, get some confidence early, stay injury-free, and hope that Mike can keep all these old war horses together for one last corral, one last run at it. They got a chance. But you got Argentina, you got South Africa, you've got Ireland, the dark horses, you've got Kenya, you've got 8 teams that could potentially win on the men's side.
When you say win on the men's side, are you talking about medal or win the gold medal?
I'm talking about medal. It's that tight. 3 medals, 8 teams out of 12 can medal, in my opinion.
All right, and Steve, if you were on a game show and you had to pick, or if you were on a rugby talk show and you had to pick gold, silver, and bronze, who would you pick?
You can't look past Fiji, right? For gold, I'd go with them. I think Team GB are a little underrated. They're
an all-star team. They're an all-star team.
I couldn't agree more. I'm not a fan of the Team GB concept. You know that. You know me politically, right? So I'm not exactly rooting for them. I just think they could finish second. And then third, I don't think you look past New Zealand for third place.
Godfather, you got to like that, the way he just reduced it from his personal thoughts to the facts, right?
Absolutely.
Facts over feelings, Gift. All right, and Steve, let's switch over to the women's bracket. What do you got there?
Yeah, women's brackets, competition is a little less thin. There's probably only 5 or 6 teams. I am convinced Team USA are going to medal. In contrast to the men's side, who've had their injury issues and they've had their cohesion issues, the women's team are a core group, have been together 4 years now, 5 years. They've played well in the warm-up tournaments. They've avoided any major injuries. Everyone's there. Everyone's fit. Chris Brown's been able to pick who he wants. They're going well, and I really, really am convinced they're going to medal. Whether that's gold, different story. These 12-team tournaments over 3 days have an odd sort of qualification for the semis, the quarters, and the semis. So it can get squirrely. You can end up on the wrong side of the draw, and you might not make it to the final. You might be the second best team. That having been said, I'm going to go with New Zealand to win it. I'm going to go USA to take second, silver, and then bronze. You can't look past Australia or Canada. You've also got France hanging around there too, and they were really impressive in Monaco about a month ago.
And Steve, you mentioned squirrely. You're like a wise squirrel that often steps on his nuts, and that doesn't make you less wise.
An interesting analogy, but proceed.
Guys,
where are you going with this? Where are you going with this?
Let me go around to the panel, see if they have a question for you. John,
wait a minute. What is wrong with you? We got this great Hall of Fame coach on here, 2-time coach of the year. First, you diminish him and say just sevens coach. He was coach of the year for the entire United States. 330 million people, and you tell a squirrel and nut joke?
Yeah,
This legend on the show. What the hell's wrong with you?
they get clicks.
JBL. Thank you.
Okay, John, thank you for that.
I apologize to you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you for the commentary. Godfather, anything for the Lizard?
Yeah, as of right now, the women's rugby, New Zealand's at -300, so they're the prohibitive favorite to win the gold medal. But the USA at 10-1 odds. You think they got a shot at maybe upsetting them at all?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're going to get upsets, it's in the sevens format, right? And 15's the best team wins 90% of the time. In sevens, that goes down about 70, 75%. One bounce of the ball, one bad referee decision, one injury, one mistake can change a game of sevens in a way that it doesn't really in 15s when things can even out. So sevens is all about upsets, and that's why it's hard to make bets.
Yeah, because Godfather, it's 7-on-7 on the same size field that the 15s is played on, and you have to cover the whole field, and it's only a 7-minute half. So it's like a wide open sprint. You got to cover the whole field. You blink, you bat an eye, somebody's by you for a try. Right? Gift, anything for the Lizard?
No, look, I'm just excited to be able to see what happens with you guys for next week. And I'm the seven side. I'm in my little mixture place because right now I'm here and I had to choose not to be. I had to choose to be here right now. This is a weird situation.
Gift, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. but good luck with it. Good luck with it.
That's about right.
Before you go, I want to ask you a question because I'm a huge sevens fan, especially of the American team. Danny Barrett, to me, is my favorite rugby player in the world. Just a tough guy who plays the right way. When he got up on that broken arm and just proceeded to the play when the medics had already come out to work with him. I just love the guy. Little long in the tooth. Perry Baker coming back from a busted ankle. What do these guys have to do to get into the medal round?
They got to rediscover their mojo from 2 years ago. These guys can do it. They're 18 months older, 2 years older. They've had some significant injuries, but if they get off to a fast start and they build some confidence, sevens tournaments are confidence. If you get that first game, you build on it, you build on it, you build on it. Conversely, if it goes tough for you in the first game, it's hard to get back. So they need a good start and they need to stay injury-free. And I wish those guys all the best. I love them to death.
And we wish you all the best, and we love you to death, Steve the Lizard Lewis. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for not bringing up that your mom is going to slap John's face the next time she sees
Your
him.
mom's a wonderful person, and just like the rest of the 8 billion people on the planet, she despises Matt McCarthy.
Exactly. She's going to slap your face. Your face, she's slapping Matt.
A two brute. It's funny bedfellows that rugby makes here on Rugby Wrap Up. But thanks, Steve.
My biceps falling apart here. I can't hold this phone much longer.
All right, you've done very well. Thanks for taking one for the team.
Cheers. See ya.
All right, guys. So we just got that invaluable insight from Steve the Lizard Lewis, the king of sevens. And now it's on us. The pressure's on us to pick our choices for gold, silver, and bronze in the men's bracket and gold, silver, and bronze in the women's bracket. And there's nobody better to lead us off in this than you, John Bradshaw Layfield. How about the men?
Fiji, to me, is the one that you want to put money on. Fiji's weird. And you guys know this from watching them in sevens. You watch them in Hong Kong, that's a different team. They are just a different level than everybody else. You watch them in Paris, you watch them in London. If they aren't really into it, they're an average team. I think they're going to be into it at the Olympics, so I got to go with Fiji number one. I'm going to go with the Americans number two. I love Danny Barrett, my favorite rugby player in the world, maybe my favorite athlete in the world. Perry Baker coming back off the injured ankle along with Carlin Isles. I think that makes a huge difference on the wings. Hopefully Perry Baker, who's a very tough guy, his ankle is healed. I'm going with America number two. And I'm going to go with the Brits, number three. That's where I'm really kind of iffy on this. I'm not sure about them. The Aussies, the South Africans have an incredible sevens team. I'm going to go with the Brits for number three.
Gift?
Man, look, this men's side is going to be an amazing one. But I have to actually push back with Steve a little bit, Steve the Lizard on this one, because, talking about GB, look, Fiji, I absolutely believe gold repeat. Like they have been killing it all 4 years since 2016. And so I feel like they're prohibitive favorites, but Great Britain, there's one thing that you can always guarantee whenever Great Britain plays rugby on a big stage, that they're going to underwhelm you when it matters most consistently. And where I actually put in there is actually going to be South Africa, because not only has this team been improving since 2016, they took that loss and lump, but they've actually been improving on their selection process, which has made them a faster team, a stronger team. And we saw just that variation with the 2019 Rugby World Cup and have been seeing it consistently over time with the 7 side. So I actually put them at getting silver in this one. And then for bronze, my heart really wants to go with the USA. It really, really wants to go with the USA. But
then go with the USA.
You're not going to pick
to.
USA not to medal, are you, Gift? You're really going to not pick the USA?
He's a communist.
For
men's, communist.
For men's, I look at them, they end up being a 4th place team.
Communist.
But most likely New Zealand at number 3 for the bronze.
Vladimir Lenin.
After processing what Stephen Lewis said, after listening to Layfield break it down, and after trying to figure out what the hell Gift's saying, I like South Africa plus 300. I don't care if the coach is there or not. They got the speed. I like New Zealand to get the silver, and I think Fiji gets the bronze. I'm going the opposite way. South Africa plus 300 to win the gold medal.
Wow. All right. Okay. That's pretty good. That's tough. I'm going to go right off to. I'm going to start with the silver, and I got goddamn America, Team USA with the silver. For the gold, I think it's going to be New Zealand, and for the bronze, I can't pick Team GB, ABE, anybody but England in rugby, and basically Team GB is England, and the fact that they're playing with an all-star team of Welsh, Scottish, and English players is BS because in the World Cup,
the entire Great Britain, you're trying to alienate them, right?
Yeah, I'm like you with Oklahoma. I got Ireland taking the bronze. How about them apples?
66 to 1 to win the gold medal. You might as well bet them to win the gold medal.
No, sir. Right? That would be foolish.
Coming off the repechage?
Scared?
Do they have the speed to compete, Matt?
They have Jordan Conroy, who's one of probably top 2 speed demons on the circuit and in the Olympics. So yes, to answer your question, they do. All right, fellas, now we have to do the same for the women. And John, since you went first last time, let's go with John.
Oh, well, hell yeah, let's go with me. I got New Zealand. I got the Kiwi women first. That'd be a gold medal. I'm going to have the Americans second. That's 2 silver medals we're winning in the Olympics, and I hope we win 2 golds because I'm rooting for America, unlike Mr. Bolshevik below me, Mr. Gift, who's a communist who doesn't root for America, apparently. I don't know anything more about that. That's terrible. And third, I'm going to go with our neighbor to the north, Canada. How about that? We got 2 North American teams on the podium.
That's a friendly red Gift. Do you want to follow that up?
See, this is where we always gotta clarify here. All right. This is where we clarify. I'm gonna put this already out here. You got three of the fastest backs over here in the US. Nia Tapper, all right. Sheda Emba. Actually, we got 5 of them, to be honest with you. And you
don't have to name them all, Gift.
Hey, look, I got to give props to my people over here. All right. I got to give props to my people over here because they've come in hard. They are one of the fastest, strongest back lines that you got on top of what we've done. Iona Mayer and all them in the front with the forwards. USA is gold medaling out of this. I know New Zealand is the prohibitive favorite. Portia Woodman is back in all her glory, and she's even happy. But you know what? It's not the same New Zealand team. I know they've been beating people. It's not the same New Zealand team. So I got USA coming in at gold, New Zealand silver with the big upset there. And then I got to take care of, my people up north. It's the only time. Charity Williams, shout out. Canada at bronze, taking it down. These are my peoples.
Gutsy. Good picks. Godfather?
Like Gift said, New Zealand is the prohibitive favorite, but I'm not laying 3 to 1 on them to win the gold medal. Give me USA at 10 to 1 odds because this is a betting show. So it's easy just to pick who's going to win, but you got to pay the price. USA at 10 to 1. Then I actually like Canada to get the silver and New Zealand to get the bronze.
I love that North American battle. Woo!
USA. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Basketball Head.
I'm picking Turkey. They're not in it. All right. No, I got America. I got USA winning the gold medal in this one. Then I got New Zealand, and then I got Australia. How about them apples? I know you like apples, John. You like apples, don't you?
No, I like Rizats. What I like. I like rats. What I like.
All right, guys, hold that thought. We got a break for commercial.
Breaking for commercial. Will we get paid for this?
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
Been blind since I was 4. And I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer is Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
All right, fellas, we're back, and we are now tasked with that British and Irish Lions versus the Springboks in South Africa tour. John, you're on fire, so why don't we start with you?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm on fire. You know where I got that giraffe behind me? I got that giraffe in Shaka Zulu land, just down there in South Africa. So I've got this tie. My college sweet mate was from South Africa. That's where I learned to say "Randit" and "Sumehat," which means kiss my ass. That's what that means in South Africa. Sumehat. I just told you in 2 languages to kiss my ass.
So you killed the baby giraffe?
Yes, I did. I shot a baby giraffe. His mother is still crying. And I made it wood. That's what I did.
All right. Well, hopefully
I made a pair of boots out of the other baby giraffe I killed.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, yeah. Maybe your picks can salvage your soul a little bit. So what do you got? Who's going to win this thing this week?
I don't know what's changed since last week. You had the South African A team playing against the British and Irish Lions. They had about 18 players that played on the World Cup team. The British and Irish Lions were 4.5-point favorites. They end up losing that. I don't know what's changed. I don't think anything has. I think if there's any type of COVID issues between now and then, I know South Africa's having a lot of problems with the Delta variant. That could change this game significantly. But barring any of that, I think South Africa wins this test.
Gift.
No, the only thing that could be a distraction are the protests that are going down in South Africa. You know, hopefully everything kind of soothes out from that. But aside from that, South Africa is just missing the beast. Basically just missing the beast from their Rugby World Cup championship team. Outside of Maro Itoje, maybe you get a little Owen Farrell. The British Lions don't have anything on this new South Africa team. I'm telling you, the selection process has changed over the last 5 years and has made them an entirely more formidable team in South Africa. I'm giving South Africa this on not just one. I'm looking at a 2 out of 3 win on this one for South Africa overall. Take the full tournament tour.
You're talking a series win.
Yes, series win by RSA.
Wow. Okay. All right. Godfather, what do you got?
I agree with the guys. I mean, the British Irish Lions have a bunch of talent on the team, but yet the bookmakers' implied probability of winning this game is 57% for the Springboks. So I like the Springboks here. Then you had the fact that the Springboks won the World Cup, and they're not going to lose at home to a bunch of drunks from Ireland and the UK. I like the favorite here.
Ooh.
So,
not that there's anything wrong with drunks or Ireland and the UK.
That is the best answer that anybody could possibly give on this one, Godfather. Hands down. No doubt about it. That you nailed it. You nailed it. Khaleesi, the captain, may not be available for this one, though, Gift. I don't know if you remember that. But regardless, or as John would say, irregardless, I think the Springboks are going to take this one. And on that note, we are out of time. I want to thank Mr. John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Famer, the Philly Godfather, just the best goddamn sports bettor ever, and Gift Egbelu, the gift to rugby and the gift to mankind. And thank you, our new fans across the pond, for tuning in. We hope to see you next week. But in the meantime, check out our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, Martial Law, the Zack Attack, and please sign up for our Rugby Wrap-Up Red Cross Blood Donor Team.